What is going on, guys? It's Justin from the J Media back with another video. Today we are going to attempt to do a DIY install, and we'll be installing some reverse cameras on my Honda S2000. So the S2000 is a car that was produced from the early 2000s to mid 2000s. So yeah, they never really came with some of the creature comforts like a reverse camera. So I did purchase this dash cam, which if you guys want to watch the install video, we do have it separately on the channel. This actually did also came with a reverse camera, which is super cool. So let's go ahead and show you guys what we're working with today. Okay, so in here we do have the reverse camera and the wiring. So you guys might be wondering, why is the reverse camera with the dash cam? And that's because on some dash cam setup, you put your rear view camera here on the back of the car, and then you wire it and hook it up to the screen on the dash cam. So pretty much when you put the car in reverse, what it does is it sends a signal, and then on here you'll be able to see what's behind you. So let's go ahead and throw this on and get to installing it. Okay, so again, here's the camera, and over here this connects right to the rear view camera. So we do have to run the wire up there, and then there's also this red wire, which is the positive. You want to go ahead and connect this to a power source. So be doing some wire splicing and connecting it to the tail light. But before I go ahead and feed the wires and all that stuff, I do want to make sure that it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and connect this to the rear view camera, and then I'm going to have this touching the positive terminal on my battery in the engine bay, just to make sure that when I do throw it in reverse, it actually does show up and work before I go ahead and feed the wires. So let's go ahead and knock that out real quick. Okay, so we do have that black wire connected to the dash cam. Went ahead and feed this red wire over here in the engine bay to the positive terminal on the battery. Right now, let's go ahead and throw the car in reverse, make sure that it actually works. Okay, so perfect. We do have it working. You can see that it says stop, as well as the little guidelines when you back up. Reason why it's not actually the back of it is because it's pretty much facing my floor mats. But yeah, we just want to make sure that when it's connected to a power source, it works. So first things first, you're going to go ahead and pop your trunk. And reason you're popping the trunk is because you'll be feeding the camera. You're going to mount it right here, right above the license plate. It's going to be facing outwards. We're going to feed it. I would recommend for a clean install to kind of have the tail light on the driver's side taken off. So once you have this taken off, you'll be able to feed the wire through here, and then you'll be removing some of this lining, this plastic lining, because it'll be feeding the wire through the trunk to the front of the car. So yeah, let's go ahead and remove the tail light. So we'll also be removing all this lining, like I said, and they're just held on by these little black plastic tabs. So remove this piece, remove this piece. You might have to remove this piece too. So we're trying to get in there, and we're trying to get in here. So if you have a plastic pry removal tool, that's great. Otherwise you can use a flat tip screwdriver, or you can also use some needle nose pliers like that, just to kind of grab it and just slowly pull it out. Okay, so now that you have this removed, this piece removed, you can go ahead and loosen these 1, 2, 3 bolts right here. I am using a 5/16 ratchet. Just remove it, and then your tail light should pop right out. So we have 4 of those bolts removed. 1, 2, 3. This one hiding all the way back there, don't forget that. And then your tail light should be kind of loose right now. So right now that is loose. You guys can see there's a hole right here. So I'm going to be able to feed my camera wires through here into the trunk. So let's go ahead and do that. Just to show you guys the route, I'll have the cameras right here. Goes in through this little hole on the top. Feeds it towards the tail light. Goes up in here through the bumper. Comes here. Goes to the tail light hole. And then it comes out through this little pocket. So let's go ahead and get the wiring fed through it. So wire right here, fed through this hole. You guys can see my little camera right here. So right now I'm gonna feed it through the hole. Gonna feed it through, and somehow I'm gonna reach my hand in here through this hole and try to find the camera. Okay, I can kind of feel it, so just grab the camera. Voila, camera's out. So my camera, I'm gonna mount it like right around here. Okay, so now that you have your camera right there, you can go ahead and put the driver's side taillight back in place. Go ahead and put back those 4 bolts. And then I'll also show you guys how to do the wiring. We're gonna be actually connecting this red wire to the reverse bulb. Okay, so now with the taillight back in place, let's show you guys how to do the wiring. So on some of the reverse camera kits, you have a red wire and a black wire. If you have 2 wires, then you have red going to positive, black going to negative. Like I said, you'll be locating the reverse bulb, which is right here. This one right here. You can go ahead and take that out. You don't really need the bulb, so you can just unplug the wiring. What we'll be doing is we'll be actually tapping into this power source. And if you guys look a little clearly over here, might be kind of hard to see, but you do have 2 wires. One's a green, one's a black. So the green wire is your positive, your black wire is your ground. If you have 2 wires from the reverse camera, connect your red wire to the green one and the black to the black. In my case, I just have 1 red positive wire, so I'll be splicing and tapping into that green wire. So what it's going to do is whenever I throw it in reverse, the reverse bulb will come on. That will also activate the backup camera on my dash cam. So that's what's going to happen. Okay, so here's a better look at the green and black wire. You guys can see green is for positive, so that's where we'll connect the red wire on the backup camera too. So what you want to do is grab a little wire stripping tool. I'm going to go ahead and cut the green wire right in the middle, expose some of that wire, and then same thing for this. We're going to connect it. So if you guys do soldering, that's great. If you don't do soldering, that's fine. You can get your little butt connectors, or you can get heat shrink, whatever works for you, or you can just do electrical tape. So let's go ahead and connect it real quick. Okay, so now that you have your wire a little more exposed, I use the wire stripping tool to strip it, cut it in half. The green wire is cut in half. I'm going to go ahead and like I said, either solder it, use a butt connector, or just, you know, black tape. You're going to connect the red wire to all the green wires. So there you have it. I did the heat shrink method. Green and red is all connected. You guys are wondering why this is cut. I cut it just so it has a little bit more slack. It's not going to be too tight. So right now you can go ahead and plug this back in there. There you have it. And then if you have any excess red wire, you can, you know, tuck this away as well. So all that's left to do is pretty much feed these wires all the way through to the front. Okay, as you guys can see, I pretty much have all these panels loose. You're gonna feed the camera through here, around back of the lining, all the way back here, and feed it through the back of the trunk. Okay, so right now we have the wires fed through the back. Right now all my excess wires right here. We're gonna feed it through here. You guys might notice there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a little hole in the front. So let's go ahead and go to the front of the car and show you guys what I'm looking at. Okay, so first things first, you're gonna hop in the cabin, driver's side. You're gonna scoot the seat forward because there's a little panel that you need to remove. You're gonna move the seat forward, driver's seat forward, so you have more space. And you're gonna remove this little compartment. There's some screws, 2 screws. You can use an 8mm, or you could use a Phillips screwdriver to remove it. So once you remove that, this cover should pop right out. Let me show you guys how it looks. This piece pretty much pops off, and you can see that
either an 8mm or you can fit your little cross-tip screwdriver ratchet in there and slowly get it off. Okay, so now that both screws are loose, this piece should pop right off. So you're going to go ahead and gently pry it out. Once this piece is out, you should be able to feed your wire through. A little bit of persuasion, this should come out. There we go. Okay. So through here, we'll be able to feed the wire through. If it is hard to see where the wire is, I'll recommend having a flashlight. Go ahead and place it right here. So that way you know to feed the wire towards the light source. So I'm going to go ahead and just have my light just resting right there. And then now I'm going to go ahead and head back to the trunk and see where the light source is. Back in the trunk, and very faint, but I do see a light source somewhere in the distance. Not sure if you guys can see that little hole, the little light source. So you're going to try to feed it through all the way back there. I'm going to attempt to feed it through. It's hard to feed a wire, so I'm going to attempt to tie it around my screwdriver, feed it through, and hopefully I'll be able to grab onto this wire. Alright, and there we have it. Just like that, we fed the screwdriver through. So you guys can see, having something to feed it through definitely helps. So I have all my wire. Let's go ahead and take the screwdriver out and pull on the wire. Alright, so now that you've fed it through all the wire, super easy. I'm just gonna tighten loose ends, like put all these pieces back together. You can close the trunk, and then also gonna go ahead and put this piece back together. Okay, trunk lining's back in place, closed. We also have this piece back in place. So right now we can go ahead and put the seat back. What we'll be doing is pretty much feeding the wires, getting it nice and clean all the way along the side to the dash cam. So as you feed it along here, tucked inside the side, you always want to make sure you have plenty of excess wire. So you're going to feed it up here, here, all the way to the dash cam. Okay, so right now we're in the back where the license plate frame is. So they provided this double-sided tape, but besides tape, we're also going to put screws in it. So with this little plate, you want to make sure it's facing like that. So camera down, plate up. And then I would prefer to have it right in the middle, but on the S2000 we do have the reverse, not reverse light, sorry, the license plate lights right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to have it, it's going to be like that on the side a little bit. Not much of a choice, but yeah, let's go ahead and mount it. Okay, so we do have everything mounted. So what I did was I used the double-sided tape provided. Also put in those two little self-tapping screws. So everything's good to go right now. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this little protection sticker. Okay, so we ran the wire here all the way up. Very last step is just connecting this guy into my rear view camera. Just connect it like so. And now moment of truth to test it out. Moment of truth. Let's go ahead and put the key in ignition. Dash cam starts up just fine. And right now let's go ahead and throw the car in reverse. Boom, there we have it. I do see it in reverse. Back to normal, the front. Back into reverse. Perfect. Alright, so there you have it. I am glad this install is done. Like I said, it definitely modernizes the car a little bit more. If you guys want to check out the dash cam install video, like I said, there's a previous video. This actually came with the dash cam. So yeah, really awesome that we do have a backup camera function now. Again, if you guys stayed to the end, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next video.